Employers can expect the union to make over 1,000 changes to their collective agreement and simply not see that they're trying to break the union. We can't allow them to destroy this union. We understand their challenges and difficulties in running, of course, a media empire. But the reality is, what they're proposing to do here is simply, of course, to extinguish the union. The union cannot allow that to happen. It is critical for this employer to get back to the bargaining table and sit down and negotiate. We cannot solve this dispute without them getting back to the bargaining table. It's absolutely vital, I think, for the provincial government to get the mediation service to be involved. Fundamentally, that's part of the system. When the parties can work together, you get the mediation to bring the parties back to have some dialogue and some discussions the way forward. So it's critical for me to be here today to send you a clear message. The Congress, of course, to send out the message from our last Executive Council that we're totally in support, of course, these workers. And we're going to be here as long as it's necessary. But it's critical, I think, in this next period is your ongoing solidarity. The fact that some of you, of course, are making financial contributions to help these workers is absolutely critical. Every penny of your contribution will help these workers, of course, deal with the challenges and their families, of course, trying to maintain this strike. Last but not least, of course, your need for you to be here on a regular basis. Today is important, of course, as we're showing some solidarity, but we need that to continue on a weekly basis. So whatever you can do through the Labour Council, through the Federation, I think is critical for us to ensure these workers not isolated, nor do they lose this. Last but not least, of course, there are many advertisers continue to advertise in this newspaper. It's simply unacceptable. The reality is they need to send a clear message to the employer. These workers are a vital part of the community here in Halifax and throughout Nova Scotia. And one way to resolve this dispute is to get back to the bargaining table. The workers, of course, made overtures to the employers about changes they can entertain with a collective agreement. They're not intransient nor are they difficult, but at the end of the day, the employers got to come back and sit down at the bargaining table to help resolve this dispute. I want to say I'm honored to be here, of course. Every time I'm back in Halifax and this strike is still continuing, I will come on the picket line and join you. I will ask our affiliates who are having meetings in the city or having conventions in the city over the next little while, of course, do whatever you can to come and show your solidarity here. This employer needs to be reminded, our solidarity is long. For every day they want to keep us here, we'll be one day longer until they sit down at the bargaining table and reach a collective agreement. Thank you so much for the opportunity to address you here today.
I'm here on behalf of our NDP caucus, who are all engaged in the legislature this morning, who have asked me to express how much we are all repulsed by the great disrespect that the Chronicle Herald has shown throughout this disagreement. Disrespect at so many levels. Certainly the profound disrespect shown to writers and editors and photographers and all those engaged in the production of the paper by replacing negotiation with ultimatums. It is nothing but disrespect. And also we should mention the considerable disrespect towards the paper's readers. You know, I don't want you to think that I've read the Scab paper enough to have formed an opinion about it, because I haven't. But I know people who have, and they all tell me that it would be an insult to your stove to use it to start the fire in it. and what a disrespect to the craft. What a disrespect to journalism. What a disrespect to the whole important tradition of using words to make sense of and give meaning to our world. So let's say something that the Chronicle Herald doesn't understand. Let's say, you'll say after me, words matter!
Words matter!
Readers matter!
Readers matter!
People matter!
People matter!
Say it again, words matter!
Words matter!
Readers matter!
Readers matter!
People matter!
People matter!
Solidarity. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
I want to thank all of you and your unions for the support over the last 105 days that these workers have received while they're on strike. I also want to acknowledge, as you hold different events, so QP, the nurses union just last week raised over $25,000 for the striking workers here at the Herald. that help, that generosity, and I'm sure. So this is a shout out to NSGEU, who's going to have a convention next week. So we got to add a little competition in here as well. But the support that these workers on the line have received is great. I don't have to remind any of you, get your family and friends to cancel any subscriptions that they may have at the Herald. We need to cancel your weekly flyers here in HRM as well, because those are printed at a print shop that's run by the Herald. And we're going to continue, and I'm very proud, as I said, about the work and the support that all the unions have been giving the Herald workers. It's 105 days, and as this strike goes on, we're going to continue that support. The Federation is here behind you. All the affiliates in Nova Scotia are here behind you, and we're going to show this employer that you're goddamn not going to freeze out or get any worker. You're going to get back to the bargaining table, and you're not going to starve these workers out. So thank you, sisters and brothers, for all your support.
For the integrity of the Chronicle Herald to be upheld while reporting is being done by scab labor. Absolutely, brother. Educated, trained, expert labor by professional journalists is what this paper has become known for. And it is that legacy that is being tarnished every day as Mark Lever and Sarah Dennis insist on keeping you on the line here. I myself am a member of the Canadian Freelance Union. Woo! I have met other members of the Canadian Freelance Union here, and I can tell you it is definitely not a great media environment for younger professionals to be coming up with. We know that it's hard to find jobs, especially when employers are orienting themselves toward this gig economy instead of full-time work with benefits. However, this is no excuse to be taking jobs from an employer that is keeping their own workers out on the line. And I have a message to my fellow freelancers who are taking jobs. You folks are contributing to a race at the bottom as long as you are taking gigs from this scab employer. That we all need to work together to ensure the future of journalism in this province. We all need to work together to end this strike by refusing to take work at the Chronicle Herald as long as they refuse to bargain with their workers. And I want to say, on behalf of the Halifax-Dartmouth and District Labour Council, that we want to redouble our efforts to work with the workers at the Halifax Typographical Union to do what we need to do to end this strike. So if that's secondary picketing at scab advertisers, if that's naming and shaming scab workers, we are with you 100% of the way. And our message today to Mark Lever and Sarah Dennis: drop the attitude, drop this strike by getting your workers back to the bargaining table and negotiating a fair collective agreement.